Hi everyone, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe, and I am live to take your immigration questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and then I will go ahead and answer your questions. So today I am going to be talking about a particular topic today, and that is getting married first or the fiancé visa. Which one is better to get to that green card? So I released a video, and in that video I basically talked about both of them can work, but it depends on what your particular circumstances are. So if you get married first, for example, you can apply directly for the green card. However, if you're unable to get married before and you want to get your fiance here into the United States first, then that could be the better option. Now, I just want to let you know that I'm here to answer your immigration questions. So go ahead and drop your questions in the comments at any time, even while I'm talking. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about a particular topic today, and that is whether you should get married first or just apply for the fiancé visa. Now, it's not a cut and dry answer, right, as to which one is the right one, because it all depends on what's going on with you, whether you qualify for the fiancé visa, whether you can get married. So, hi, ma'am, I need an interpreter, lawyer, English to Gujarati for the interviews. So for me, I do not, I think it sounds like Gujarati is the language that you may be speaking. I don't speak that language, but what you can do is seek out an attorney or an interpreter. So you can get a lawyer and an interpreter at the same time. For example, if you have a family member or a family friend who can go with you to the interview, who speaks your language, then that would be okay. Hi, Charanjit Singh. Hi there. Thanks for saying hi. So go ahead and seek out or ask a family member, a friend who can go with you to the interview, who can serve as an interpreter. So keep those questions coming. Today I'm going to be talking about a particular topic, but keep in mind that your questions are my priority. So as soon as your questions start to come in, I am going to stop talking and focus solely on your questions as they come in. So friends is good, right? So friends, family members can go along with you. As interpreter, you just have to let them know that you'll be taking an interpreter with you. So keep those questions coming. I am here to answer your immigration questions. User 573, thanks for the follow. Hi there, Lisa. It's nice to see you. So keep your questions coming. So single 020, if someone comes to the USA on a tourist visa and gets married here, will it be negative on the green card application? So no, this happens all the time. And no, not necessarily. What you have to remember, though, is when you're coming into the country, you can't have the intention to stay with a tourist visa. You may get accused of misrepresentation if the officer sees that that's what happened. However, if you came into the country on a tourist visa and your circumstances changed, you fell in love, you got married here, then that happens very often, and couples still are able to get the green card, and it does not reflect badly on the green card application. If you have concerns about your particular situation, don't hesitate to get legal advice before you start the process. So, Diva 9 Queen, I definitely can be there with you at the interview. However, I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what type of interview it is. And so I would need to first talk with you and go through your circumstances in a paid consultation. And then that way we both can, I can advise you, and then we both can make a decision as to whether it will be right for us to go forward as attorney-client. So go ahead and call to schedule the consultation, and you can use your friend or family member as an interpreter. So Lisa, can they apply for me? I live in Guyana. So Lisa, see, my brothers and sisters live in NY. So if your brothers and sisters, even at least one of them are US citizens, they can apply for you. Keep in mind that it is taking a long time. It's taking a minimum of 14 years right now for siblings to sponsor siblings. So if you, and you live in Guyana, so you would have to wait out the process for about that long, unless there's a change in the law. So Abigail, how long does it normally take to get a call for medication after submitting all your? So I think, is that a call for the interview after submitting all your documents? So it just depends on the processes of the particular embassy. Right now, COVID is really delaying things. So usually it used to be about 4 to 6 weeks after you've submitted everything. However, at this time, you can expect a longer time, maybe months. So hang tight, everyone, as I go through your questions. So user 573, let's see, 573, I don't see your previous question. So I see, can you be barred forever? But I don't see the other part of the question. So can you retype that first part of your question, please? So Fafe 30, it's nice to see you here. How long does the process take to apply for a spouse? It depends on your status and where the spouse is. Now, if you're a green card holder sponsoring the spouse, expect a 2-year process. If you're a U.S. citizen sponsoring your spouse, it could be anywhere from 9 months to 2 years. So it just depends. Abigail 622. Let's see. Abigail, what was your question? Okay, so the interview, yeah. So Fafe, if I apply for my spouse from overseas, but he already have a visitor's visa, can he still visit me? So it really depends. Sometimes it can go in the wrong direction if it's an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen. So if you're a U.S. citizen, your spouse is traveling back and forth, the officer can see that as an indication that the spouse has an immigrant intent. I've seen it go both ways. So this is like my least favorite question. And, if you travel, you really have to bear that risk because there's no way to determine how it's going to go. You would have to make clear to the officer that your intent to be in the United States is still temporary, even though you do have a spouse and you have a green card application pending. If it's going to be a short time until your green card comes through, sometimes it may just be best to wait it out and wait until the process finishes. But it all depends on the circumstances here. Relic 72 and Fafe 30, you could always visit overseas, your spouse overseas while the process is pending so that they don't face the risk of being turned around or getting their visa canceled at the border. Relic 72, if you have an immigration court case but don't have a date yet, can the person file for VAWA? So this is a procedural question and it all depends on what's going on. So yeah, it is possible to file for VAWA, but if you don't have an immigration court yet, does that mean that you got a notice to appear, but you haven't, your case hasn't officially started yet? If it's already within the jurisdiction of the court, then there may be a way to get a domestic violence waiver in front of the judge. Relic 72, this is my area of focus. So give me a call, schedule a consultation, and let's talk about what's going on, where you are in the process, and then get that application in ASAP if it's not, if you have not received a notice to appear yet. So Guju Prodley, my mama, can please tell me in Vermont, what is the timeline for a marriage-based green card if we file on the May 1st? So what you can do is go to the USCIS.gov's website and go to case processing times, and then pull up the Vermont, if there's a Vermont service center for the marriage-based green card. Go ahead and look at the timeline there, or wherever it's being processed. So Diva 9 Queen is an adjustment of status green card. So give me a call, schedule a consultation first, and then let's get set up to get to that interview, all being well. So the medical, Abigail 622, the medical. So usually you have to set the appointment. If you're in another country, usually you'll get the letter, and you'll get the notice, the interview notice, with all the instructions on the list of where to find the list of doctors to apply for the medical, and then you'd contact the doctor. So the doctor isn't going to call you separately. You really have to choose which of the doctors on the list, designated doctors, that you want to get, you want to be able to go to for the medical when it gets closer to the interview. Hot at ASF 39, can you apply for a work permit if you're on visitor's visa and is stuck in America due to COVID? Oh, no, unfortunately not. So being stuck here in the U.S., even though it was based on COVID, is not going to qualify you to apply for a work permit, unfortunately. You need to be applying for a type of green card or a type of immigration benefit that allows you to work, to get a work permit, and a visitor's visa is not one of them. So single 020, examples of strong ties to your country during tourist visa interview. So those will be property, your job, if you own a business, if you have many of your family members. Sometimes that shows up in the application when you're completing the application. They ask you about your family members that live in the U.S. versus live in your home country. So those are some examples. Strong commitments that you have that will drive you to return to your home country after the temporary visit. So if you go to school, if you show that you paid your school bill already, if you have student loans, if you have a job, if you have property, mortgage, these are the kind of things that you should bring along with you. Lisak, no. So work permits are not allowed if you're on a work visitor's visa. You usually have to be applying for some other type of immigration benefit. So for example, a green card or another type of employment-based work visa to be able to apply for a work permit. Shamale. Hey, what if your sibling is in the army? Does it take that long, or does it take lesser time? So unfortunately, siblings in the military will not make it go faster. Fafe 30, you're a U.S. citizen. Okay. So Kelly Ann, good afternoon. Can you say how long will it take for a daughter to send for her mom's papers already? So I assume that your daughter is a U.S. citizen and she's 21 or over. And right now you could be looking at a process that's 9 months to as long as 2 years. It just depends on whether there are delays, whether you submit in everything that's required, what the current processing times are. So Fafe 30, I applied for my brother in 2009. We still never received anything from you. He is married now. So if he's married, it should not change his qualification. However, it does take a very long time. So from 2009 to 2014, you still have a little wait because it is 14-year process right now. So Alana Dus, I just get married. My wife choose not to file for me. So if you just got married and she is not filing for you, give me a call. Let's talk about what's going on because there may be a way for you to apply on your own. I can't stress this enough that you need to get legal advice to figure out your rights, to figure out what you can do, what your spouse should not be doing. So give me a call. I'm at 561-405-4889. Schedule a consultation. The scheduling coordinator will get back to you and we'll put you on my calendar. Hot ASF 39, you're welcome. So examples of strong ties. So I did answer that. Single 020. It's going to be property, job, school, family members, things of that nature. Kimberly, how long does it take if your mom is filing for her children over 20 years old, asking for a friend? So if your mom is a green card holder, it's taking about 5 to 6 years. If your mom is a U.S. citizen, it's taking about, and the children are unmarried, it's taking about 6 to 7 years. Guju Prodley, you're welcome. Rashida Adams, it's nice to see you and thanks for sharing the live. Alana, hey there. So Alana, I did answer your question, so I hope you got that answer. Andino Greg, hi, can a person who was in the U.S. for over 7 years on a work visa obtain a green card? Unfortunately, not. Because just being here on a work visa doesn't qualify you for a green card. You'll have to qualify through an employer who's willing to file for you, or if you have what's called extraordinary ability, that could be one way. Extraordinary ability means that you can show that you've reached the top of your field in, science, arts, business, athletics, or education. Or you'll have to qualify through a family member. Now, keep in mind, there are laws that are being proposed. They are not law yet, but we're very hopeful for those as well. Lisa, what are the steps for persons who overstayed their time in the U.S. but still waiting to work and pay taxes? So it all depends on how you qualify, Lisa. You have to qualify through an employer, and the employer, you'll have to still apply for what's called a waiver to be able to get through, or through a family member. You're welcome, Abigail. Alana, you're welcome. Shamali Martin, thanks for sharing the live. Fafe, thank you. Satis 1878, thanks for the follow. So keep your questions coming. I am here to answer your immigration questions. So take advantage of that and ask your questions. So Maria, if someone overstayed their green card 3 years in their country, can they come back to the U.S.? Yes, it is possible. You'll have to apply for what's called an SB1 visa to come back to the United States, and you'll have to show that you didn't intend to leave the United States. You had intended to leave temporarily, and maybe something came up, illness or something with a family member that caused you to stay in your home country. And you can also show things like if you continue to pay taxes, you continue to maintain your residence. That could also be helpful to your application. This is something that I do, Maria, so give me a call and let's schedule a consultation first, go through your circumstances and see if we can get that done. And Dino, paying taxes also. So keep paying those taxes. I know it's frustrating because you're here and it seems like America isn't giving you anything, but you're giving America your all. However, it may pay off in that there's new legislation that is says that if you pay your taxes, you register, pass a background check, you could possibly get permanent residence. It's not law yet, but you may, by paying taxes and complying with tax laws, you may be making a good track record for yourself to qualify for something in the future. So you're welcome, Lisa. So if you're overstayed, your family can apply and this process can be completed with you over there. So in this case, some people can stay in the U.S. For example, immediate relatives of U.S. citizens can stay in the United States, but others can't. And in the case that they can't and they must go to their home country to finish the green card process, they must apply for what's called an unlawful presence waiver to be able to leave the country to complete the process. So get legal advice about what your options are to be able to finish the process. Maria, you're welcome. Nadia, my husband is a permanent resident in the U.S. Can he apply for me? Yes, he can. Now, if you overstayed your visa, you wouldn't qualify to adjust status here in the United States, but there is a procedure in place to apply for what's called a waiver. And the waiver is based on your spouse's extreme hardships if you don't get the green card. You should not leave the country without this approved waiver. And once the waiver is approved, you can wait for the interview to come and then fly down for the interview. And then about 2 to 3 weeks after the interview, all being well, you would get the immigrant visa to return. The officer at the embassy would not use your unlawful presence or the overstay against you once you have that approved waiver. And Dino Greg, how do you go about applying for the green card if your employer is willing to file for you? So if you overstayed, you'll still have to have a U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse or parent, because you'd have to still apply for forgiveness for the overstay. And to qualify for that unlawful presence waiver, you'll need to have those qualifying relatives. But once that waiver is approved, then you would still go through the rest of the process by attending the interview in your home country, and it would not be used against you as long as you can show that approved waiver. Alana, my brother overstayed his visitor's visa for 1 year. He went back home. Can he come back? So unfortunately, Alana, he automatically will get what's called a 10-year bar. That's why many people, once they overstay by over 6 months, they if they want a future in the U.S., should not leave. Because once they leave the country, they become inadmissible to get a visa, to get a green card. There are waivers available for him to come back, but he'll still have to go through a waiver process to come back to the United States, and he'll have to qualify for those. Oras Allen, when enter the USA, how long it normally takes to receive the 2-year green card? It depends on where you are in the process. If you qualify for the 2-year green card, then it's going to be, how long does it normally take to receive it? So I would say usually about 4 to 8 weeks. However, with COVID, you may be looking at a longer period. If you're lucky, though, you'll get it in about 4 weeks. Venette, thanks for the follow. Alana, you're welcome. So keep those questions coming because I am here to answer your immigration questions. I am U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I help clients to get their green card and status in the United States. So Lisa, if you overstayed in America, can you still travel to other states? Example, Florida. Yes, at this time you can still travel using your passport to from one state to the other. As long as you don't leave the country, then you won't accrue that. Oras Allen, you're welcome. Alana, yes, so call, schedule a consultation, and then we can go through the waiver process. So in order to qualify for the waiver, your brother would know for him to get the green card. I don't know if he has a parent who is applying for him, but to qualify for the green card, he'll have to have a U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse or parent who will experience extreme hardship if he doesn't get the green card. There's also a waiver available for individuals who don't want to come here on a green card, and that is a bit easier. You don't need a qualifying relative to qualify for that waiver. So he can call and we can talk more about that his qualifications for that waiver. And Lisa, thank you for that. Kim J 30, if you're married and lives outside the U.S., can a U.S. citizen parent file for me? So yes, they can. It's taking about 12 years to do that. Unfortunately, it does take a longer time. So Dave for real 2468, I overstayed my visa, but my parents are residents here. Can they file for me? So yes. But for them to file for you, you would still have to apply for a waiver to be able to go back to your home country to complete the green card process, and you have to be unmarried, because if they're, let me see, it sounds like they're residents and not U.S. citizens. Now, to qualify for the waiver, your parents will have to show that they will experience extreme hardships if you don't get that green card. Once the waiver is approved, then you would be able to go back to your home country and then finish the green card process. And you can wait in the U.S. while the waiver is being, the decision is being made. As soon as it's approved and your interview schedule, you can fly down for the interview. Kellyanne, can you please say how long I would have to wait for my daughter to put in the papers? So there's no required wait time for your daughter. Your daughter would just have to be 21 and up and a U.S. citizen to be able to file for you. And then the processing time will take about, it could take as little as 9 months, or it could take about 18 months. Alana, you're welcome. Query 111, if you have been in the U.S. since 2016 with a work permit and got your green card 2 years later. Let's see, I don't see the other part of the question. So query, I don't know if that is related to whether you can file for somebody else. I'm not sure. I don't see the other side of your question. So please retype. Patterson Samantha, I called, let's see. Hang tight, I'm just looking for the question again. Okay, so I called the other day about how is it the fastest way to get my brother's son in the state with him. So Patterson Samantha, go ahead. What you will do when you call, you have to schedule a consultation, and then I can go through your facts. So the scheduling coordinator will be able to call you back if she doesn't answer the phone, and then schedule the consultation, confirm the consultation. As long as you confirm the consultation, you'll be on my calendar where we can talk more about the fastest way. And Dino Greg, if your employer is to file for the green card, what's the first step? So the first step would be it depends. So it depends, but most green card processes have to go through the labor certification process. And so that can take the longest time, just depending on which country you're from. Once you get through that, then the next step is to file the petition. When you get the approved petition, then if you've overstayed and you're currently in the U.S., then the next thing you have to wait for is the actual waiver approval after you've prepared the waiver. And then if the waiver is approved, it goes on to be scheduled at the interview, goes to the National Visa Center where they'll coordinate with you to get the required documentation. Once they get everything, then they will send it to the embassy for an interview. Tia Sylvester, I plan on marrying a Chinese citizen, but he lives in Germany. I'm a U.S. citizen. What steps do I need to take? So the first would be to file the petition on behalf of your spouse. If you're getting married, or once you get married, you would not be able to file for the green card until you get married. Now, since they are residing in Germany, they could complete the process there in Germany at the embassy, U.S. Embassy in Germany. They'll just have to make clear that they would like to do the consular processing in Germany. So that would be the first step. Kellyanne Francis, you're welcome. Diva 9 Queen, I can take my friend with me to the interview for it. So yes. Query 111, can you file for citizenship? Absolutely. I can help file for the citizenship and represent you through the process. But first, I do require consultations to make sure that you qualify and everything is good. There will be no complications, and I advise accordingly. Patterson Samantha, because he lost his mother a month ago. I'm so sorry to hear about that he lost his mother. Unfortunately, there is no fast solution when it comes on to a sibling sponsoring a sibling. But in this case, if he's an orphan, there may be another way to do this. So give me a call, and that's exactly why I require the consultations, because then we look at all your options and not just one option that you think is available. So Jacqueline Cortez, hi, I'm a citizen. Can I file for my mother-in-law? So no, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to file for your mother-in-law, but your hubby could, or your spouse could be able to file for your for their parent if they're a U.S. citizen. So unfortunately, it's your spouse that will have to wait until they become a U.S. citizen to file. Shanna K. Miller, thanks for the follow. Jacqueline Cortez, thanks for the follow. K36 Mills, if you are married with a visiting visa, can your aunt who is a citizen file for you? Unfortunately, aunts can't file directly for their nieces or nephews. So Kellyanne Francis, she's already a citizen, but she's 18. So you'll have to wait until she turns 21 for her to file for you. Query 111, can you file for citizenship? Absolutely, I can. Nadia Hamilton, so let's see. How long after my husband apply will I have to wait for a green card? So it can take around 9 months to up to 2 years. It just depends on where you are, what service center, whether there are delays, what are your circumstances. So a lot of variables. It depends on a lot of different variables. So original do I need written permission from my kid's father for my application? We have joint parental rights. So it's always a good idea to get, if your children are going along with you for a green card, then to get the written notarized permission from the parent. Aisha, hey, is approved by NVC. Now we are waiting for an interview, and it's been 4 months and didn't get the date. So it's very backlogged right now, and a ton of people have to be waiting. So Kim J30, so your mom, let's see. So Tia Sylvester, where do you go for the petition? So I don't get into forms here because it can be so specific. And if I don't know all your circumstances, I don't want to, mislead you about what forms you should be applying for. However, if you go to the uscis.gov website and you go to forms, you would be able to see a list of forms for different situations. You can always schedule a consultation with me, and then we can go through your circumstances, and then I can advise you based on the accurate information I get in that consultation as to where to file the petition, what is the best way to do this going forward. So query 111, in the USA since 2016 with a work permit, your green card 2 years later, can you apply for citizenship? Not after 2 years after getting the green card. If you obtain U.S. citizenship through a U.S. citizen, you remain married to the U.S. citizen for 3 years, and you have the green card for at least 3 years, then you could possibly qualify. Hero, after getting passport, Ashley can travel to home country where he got threats. So that's a great question. So if your asylum is based, your approved asylum was based on your fears of returning to your country, then there could be a question about whether you submitted an application that was false, because why the question the officer would have is, why are you traveling back to a country that you fear returning to? And so it could spell trouble for you in the future. You have to be careful. Hibiscus 868. Hi, from Trinidad and Tobago. Hi there, it's nice to see you. M. Bezar, how long does it take for a mom who is a U.S. citizen to file for her adult son? So if the adult son is over 21 and unmarried, it's taking about 6 to 7 years. If he's not married, if he is married, then about 12 years. Gerald Olivares, thanks for the follow. So keep those questions coming, and I can answer your questions while I'm here. So Maria, so if your spouse is an American citizen and he has I-130 approved, does his spouse still have to go back to her country for the interview? So no, as an American citizen sponsoring their spouse, as long as that spouse came into the country with a visa or some sort of permission, they were paroled in, that means given permission to come into the country at the border, then they can stay and apply for the green card while here. But if the spouse, even if the spouse is a U.S. citizen and the spouse came into the country without permission by crossing the border, for example, you see what's going on at the Mexican border. If it's some situation like that, either the Canadian border, coming in by boat without permission, or coming across the southern border, then then definitely it will be the waiver process, and they'll still have to go back to their home country. Lisa, I know I've been asking too many questions. No, not at all. Feel free. I try to get through to all questions, so don't feel uncomfortable. That's why I'm here. So get in as many questions as you can. Aisha, there is anything I can do to get the interview date faster? So there may be a way to expedite it, but keep in mind that the rules are it's very difficult to get it expedited. You have to show that you have a good justification. So something urgent, a humanitarian need, an emergency, such as an emergent health issue, if there's conflict in your country. But if it's something less than that, then it's very unlikely that you would get it expedited. Original Lock. You are welcome, Diva9. She has an ID for USCIS. So K36 Mills. If my husband's father is a U.S. citizen and he has a visiting visa, can he file for him? So if your husband, so in this case, he wouldn't be able to stay in the U.S. and apply. He would have to go back to his country anyway, and so the best way would be for him to wait it out in his country, because that process takes about 12 years. And if he stays and his father applies for him, overstays the visa, he'll have to apply for a waiver. And the waiver has to be approved first before he leaves to go to the interview at the home country, so it can get more complicated if he's in the U.S. So Amina Rahman, let's see, Amina, let's see, I don't see where the other part of your question is. So could you, here it is. Hi, I'm from Guyana and I get married to an American citizen and he was born here. He was born there. I will get a green card because I have a USA visa. So, in a case like this, I would want to do a consultation. This is basic information. And yes, as the spouse of a U.S. citizen, you would qualify for the green card. If you came into the country, you're already here, and you overstayed your visa, you could possibly stay and apply for the green card. It just depends on what your background is. As long as there are no other disqualifying factors going on in your background, that would disqualify you. then that could be a possibility. But I cannot stress enough. Get legal advice, schedule a consultation before you file anything. At least make sure you know what you're getting into, that you do qualify. So Lisa, I have a kid born in the USA. Let's see, work and pay taxes. Would there be a chance I can someday be eligible? So unfortunate, maybe if the law changes. So I am cautiously optimistic about that if the law changes. However, in a case where your child is still under 21, you wouldn't be able to get a green card just because you have a child, unfortunately. Renzo, thank you for the compliment. Elks Zamari, where I am in Boca Raton, Florida. I also have meeting locations in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, downtown Fort Lauderdale. However, I represent clients all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are, I can help. I do phone and video consultations for those who can't see me or can't come to the office or who aren't right around the corner. Aisha, I can expedite for that reason. I'm alone here and I have 6-month baby. I can take care of it alone. I can't take care of it alone. I'm so sorry. In a case like this, it really depends on what, really digging into what your situation is. If somehow you can show that this is an urgent situation, it has something to do, it affects the safety and the welfare of your 6-month-old baby, then that could possibly be, it doesn't hurt to try. If you want to get it expedited, it doesn't hurt to try. You just have to know that, yes, there's the risk that it could be denied, but it doesn't hurt to try. And so if that is something that you really want to do, then schedule a consult and then we can try. Andino Greg, can a friend sponsor you to obtain a green card? Unfortunately not. Nikki, Nikki Lu Wang, a good lawyer in Florida you can recommend? Yes, me. Mabidali, thanks for the follow. And this is Snickers Queen. Thanks for the follow. Mabidali. I am on a CR1 unconditional green card and wife divorced me. I have faced any issue in getting citizenship. So I'll need to do a consultation with you because I don't know what your circumstances are. I don't know what your background is. It could possibly be if there's something you're concerned about in your background. So schedule a consultation. We can go through that. So I'm going to keep those questions coming. Hang tight, everyone, as I scroll through to make sure I have your questions. Scooby-Doo Girl 313. Hi there. Thanks for the follow. I would like this get married and get a card. Okay. Well, good luck. True Instrumental. Don, thank you. You too. Wanda Perez, if a person overstayed their welcome to the U.S. or wants to stay permanent, is that possible? It may be possible. It just depends on how you qualify. Aisha08, how much is the fee to expedite? So I would need to first speak with you in a consultation. I don't do quotes through the live shows just because every case is different and the effort is different in every situation. So schedule a consult first. That would be the best way to go. My consultations are $150 to start, and then we can decide. So married for 10 years, my husband gets denied to come to the U.S. So there must, White Wolf VT, I'm sorry to hear that, and there must be some reason why. If you really want to explore what happened and whether there's a way around that, schedule a consult with me and we can talk about it. Hi, can you please explain the first step of an employer applying for a worker green card? So the first step would be to file for them to, it depends on what kind of work employment-based green card. But the first step is usually the labor certification process. That's basically to make sure that everything is fair. The way that the employer is hiring a foreign worker is fair to the United States workers. After they get through that process, then the next step would be to file the petition, and once that's approved, then it goes either through adjustment of status or it goes to the National Visa Center. Alenis, go one. Can I apply for VAWA and get my green card? So for 20 years and same year crossed successfully and never came back. I have 2 U.S. citizen kids and married to a U.S. citizen. So I would like to speak with you. Yeah, it may be possible, but it depends on what your circumstances are with your spouse to be able to see if you qualify. But I would love to talk to you, to sift through everything, and then I can advise accordingly. But keep in mind that the VAWA does go for people who cross the border, anybody who cross the border, even if you cross without permission, VAWA is still available. Samson, so currently I have overstayed my visa. What's my way forward for attaining my green card? You'll have to qualify through a family member or through a spouse. Hi there, White Wolf, Vermont. It's nice to see you. Thanks. Nikki Luwang, Miami. So I service clients all over the country. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Ohio, Maryland. So I represent clients all over the country, and I am a Florida-based attorney. So I represent clients in Miami as well. Alenis, go one. Hi, I am from Mexico. In 1999, tried to cross the border too many times and received an expedited removal. So while this is a complex case, this may be a way forward for you, but we'll have to go through your facts and determine exactly if you qualify for VAWA. So mixed mommy, what if you marry them and they leave you for dead, no help and really bad abuse? What's next step? Then this mixed mommy can't stress enough that this could be a solution for you. Give me a call, schedule a consultation, because if this happened, they left you for dead, no help, you were abused, you qualify to apply for the green card on your own and to be able to move forward with your life and heal. So schedule a consultation and let's talk about it and then get started on that application. Even if you're here without status, even if you came in without permission, this is something that is exactly here for your situation. So thanks for the follow, everyone. All right, so I'm going to hang tight while I go through your questions. Skywalker 87, hi there. So no, I don't have anything in my background like overstaying. So you would still need to qualify through someone, and the best way to explore your options is through a consultation, because it's such a, when you're here and you're without your papers, we need to decide all of that to be able to tell you a path forward. And that could take me a whole hour more on your single question. Samson, you're welcome and thank you. You too. Shans, how do I get a work visa? You have to qualify for the work permit through a family member or through someone or an employer. So White Wolf VT, Vermont, he is Moroccan and they keep saying we are not, they say to prove marriage. I have done that. So in this case, I would definitely need to explore more, like, for example, what did you submit as proof? What are the circumstances? Have you met your spouse already? These may all count to show whether you qualify or not. So if I come to the U.S. on a visa and I've overstayed my time, can I travel to other states in the U.S.? So yes, right now you can travel using your passport or the designated ID that you have to travel. Hello, how long does condition to remove permanent residence on resident get approved? So it's terribly backlogged. I've seen as little as 6 months. I've seen as long as 2 years. So, it all depends on whether you get a request for evidence, where is processing your application. Samson, so please, what are the qualifications if you've overstayed your visa? So it all depends. So Wanda Perez, how can you schedule an appointment virtual? So, and this goes for Purple Light as well. Call 561-405-4889. If you follow me, you can go look at any one of my videos. You will see the phone number plastered on the video. You can also go to the link in my bio. It'll take you to the website where you will see the contact form as well as a phone number. Right now it's after hours, so there is the after hours receptionist who is answering the phone. But what they'll do, they'll take good care of you, take your name, your number, and then as soon as the scheduling coordinator comes in, they will call you back and get you on my calendar. So go ahead and schedule that consult. I'm really looking forward to speaking with you. So hang tight while I just go through. So what's the cost of citizenship? So the cost to apply for citizenship right now is $725, and that is for the application fee. If you'd like to schedule a consultation, JWorld23, to make sure you qualify and everything is good, call the number. Go to the link in my bio, you'll get the number there, or look at one of my videos, you'll see the number. Call and schedule a consultation. If you're calling right now, because I accept calls 24/7, and after hours receptionist will take your information, and then the scheduling coordinator will get back to you during the next business day. So user 300, my dad didn't renew his green card in over some years and lost his ID. Now he needs proof of green card. He'll have to reapply to get his card. Schedule a consult. I can help with that. Now, one thing is, even if he didn't renew and he lost it, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not a green card holder anymore. It just means he doesn't have proof that he's a green card holder. So schedule a consult and then we can work on that. Dr. Adetun, thanks for the follow. Hi there, everyone. I see you. Techstar80, thanks for sharing. How do I apply for a work visa? It depends on your qualifications. On the FYP, great. Gray Rose, thank you. And thanks for the follow, Gray Rose. Shan Singh, thanks for sharing the live. User 300, I think I answered your question, so I hope that would be User 300, great. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So Mohammedir, how much time take the USCIS to approve the I-360 application as a religious worker that moment? So it depends. Right now we have COVID. We have a number of things going on that's creating a backlog. But you can go to the USCIS.gov's website, go to case processing times, and go to the center that's processing it, and you'll see. So I was married to him in Morocco wedding. I have been there. I will call. Thank you for your time. White Wolf, I'm really looking forward to helping you forward with that process. Sophia, hi there. Marcia Russell, is this true? They give you low and 94 interview and the medical. So I'm not sure. I can't make that out. I'm not sure. Can you clarify that, please? Lisak Hellman. Lisak Hellawan. Thanks for sharing. Tiffany Smith, thanks for sharing. Queen Josette, thanks for the follow. Techstar and submitted I-130 for stepdaughter. Is that right as well? So if you're a U.S. citizen, you are married to your spouse, the biological parent, when your stepdaughter was under 18, and they're still under 21, they would qualify as an immediate relative and you would be able to file for them. Magnificent, I'd like to find out if there are any options for me. Schedule a consultation. We can go through your situation. Call 561-405-4889. Sweet Potato 2131, thanks for the follow. Marshi Boo, yes, I am on Instagram and I believe I'm the immigration attorney also, same name on Instagram. So thank you all for coming and asking such great questions. I'm here every day. So if I missed your question, come back on, follow me when I come on, then you can go ahead and put your questions in the comments as soon as I go live. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.